Right now this morning, Minnesota sues why the Attorney General is taking the Trump administration to court over transgender policies.
We're also seeing the possibility of rainfall in the forecast this early morning and into the afternoon. More about that in just a moment.
And later, meet the Buffalo County heroes and the man they pulled from a house fire. Their incredible story when they join us live in studio.
This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, April 23rd. We've got a little bit of a spring doing spring things and a little bit of a change in our weather today, right?
Yeah, a little change. We could see some sunshine briefly for a few hours and get back into the possibility of more showers later on into the evening and overnight. How about this, though? From the morning hours all the way down far south along I-90, rainfall could be moving into the picture. It's kind of moving from all the way from western portions of Minnesota and then tracking towards Prairie du Chien. It should be really hitting the ground within the next 15 to 20 to 30 minutes or so in some areas. You can see it trying to cross the Mississippi River there with light shower potential going towards areas by Prairie du Chien, trying to get to Viroqua later on. Up to the north, we may see a little light moisture up there by I-94, but it's a slight chance of that happening getting towards Eau Claire. We'll hold on as we get closer here. As you can see, as we go right down to Caledonia, light rainfall is trying to move in. So clouds are on the increase right now. I don't really think there's anything on the ground just yet, but you can see the bulk of that rainfall continue to press right through farther south as you get down towards the southern stretch of Wisconsin, going towards Dubuque, which is dry right now also. Then we take a wider view of this moisture. It extends all the way down through into Kansas, back down to Texas as well, into Oklahoma. There's severe weather potential in that. You can see it here associated with all that continuing on. And with ourselves, we're going to be seeing more along the lines of this moisture continue to press through the area. So we'll see rainfall all the way in through Friday. Be safe out there. More about this coming up for you later on.
And this morning, the body of Pope Francis was carried to St. Peter's Basilica to lie in state. Taking a live look inside there, crowds of mourners, they are filing out now. About 10,000 people were expected to be here throughout the day to view the coffin. Pope Francis, of course, died Monday at the age of 88 from a stroke and heart failure. And what we saw this morning, this was a mass, the rite of translation that started earlier today. The Pope's body was carried from his residence across St. Peter's Square into the Basilica. That is where he will now lie in state for the next few days. CBS's Tina Kraus is in Rome with the latest.
Mourners watched the body of Pope Francis make its final journey from the papal residence to St. Peter's Basilica this morning in a solemn procession led by cardinals. Tens of thousands of the faithful are expected to pay their respects as he lies in state through Friday evening. The Pope's funeral now set for Saturday morning.
He's like a member of the family, isn't he? Somebody very close to our hearts, somebody who made the church very accessible to everybody.
Last night, crowds in St. Peter's Square gathered for the Rosary Prayer, led by the 91-year-old cardinal who will also oversee the pontiff's funeral. Rosary prayers were also held Tuesday at Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major, where preparations are underway for the Pope's burial there.
After this, it's going to be a very special place for all the pilgrims of the world.
Many world leaders say they plan to attend the Pope's funeral, including Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky, Britain's Prince William, and President Trump. As the world prepares to bid farewell to a leader many have described as transformational, cardinals get ready to choose a new head of the Catholic Church. Already, several possible contenders have come to light. Colombian tourist Maria Marsilva says she hopes the next pope will be like Francis, someone who will bring positive changes.
The date of the conclave to choose the next pope has not been announced, but it is expected to start sometime mid-May. Meanwhile, the White House says President Trump will depart Washington on Friday to travel to the Pope's funeral, and he will return Saturday night. And what else you can expect in the next few days? Tomorrow, Bishop Battersby and the Diocese of La Crosse will celebrate a special Mass for Pope Francis at 12:10 p.m. That'll be live streamed on the diocese's website. The Pope's funeral is Saturday at 3 a.m. our time. 135 cardinals will be working to pick the next pope. A Wisconsin native is on that short list to become the next pope. Cardinal Raymond Burke, who served as Bishop of La Crosse for nearly a decade, is among those contenders. Grace Monk reports on what this could mean for our area.
Cardinal Burke was born in Richland Center, Wisconsin. He served as bishop of the Diocese of La Crosse from 1995 to 2004. During that time, he founded the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe, located on La Crosse's south side.
He's done a lot for La Crosse with the cathedral and the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And, you know, a lot of people do respect him a lot.
Over 100 cardinals are eligible to become the next pope. Cardinal Burke is one of the few not appointed by Pope Francis.
Cardinal Burke was portrayed as sort of the antagonist to Pope Francis. So is it possible? Anyone can be anyone with enough votes can be named the Pope. I wouldn't think so.
If appointed, Cardinal Burke would be the first American pope and the first from Wisconsin.
It would be amazing to have, you know, somebody from La Crosse, God's country, that would be the pope.
But religious experts say that's one thing that could keep him from getting the job.
There's always, within the worldwide church, a suspicion of Americans. You know, Cardinal Burke he has his big supporters, and I think he'll be an influential person behind the scenes.
Reporting in La Crosse, Grace Monk, News 8 Now this morning.
Some other headlines this morning. A Vernon County jail kitchen supervisor facing sexual assault charges after alleged encounters with an inmate. Investigators say 37-year-old Amanda Bjornstad sexually assaulted a male inmate in the kitchen cooler last month. Surveillance video shows the two entering the cooler multiple times. The victim claiming Bjornstad threatened to remove his work privileges unless he complied. Bjornstad was released on a $10,000 signature bond. She'll appear in court May 7th. Minnesota is taking the Trump administration to court over transgender student rights. Attorney General Keith Ellison filed this federal lawsuit aiming to stop what he calls bullying vulnerable children. The suit challenges President Trump's February executive order banning transgender athletes from teams matching their gender identity. At the state capitol yesterday, Ellison said he won't wait for federal officials to sue the state first.
They're wrong about the law, both federal and state law. 2, we will not let a small group of vulnerable children who are only trying to be healthy and to live their lives be demonized.
Republican House Speaker Lisa DeMuth called the lawsuit a waste of taxpayer money and criticized Ellison for risking federal funding rather than, quote, keeping boys out of girls' sports. Secretary of State Marco Rubio pulling out of today's Ukraine peace talks in London, despite earlier plans to meet with Ukrainian, British, and European officials. The State Department now citing logistical issues for his absence. President Trump's Ukraine envoy Keith Kellogg will attend instead. The change comes as Kyiv has signaled it would reject a key part of the Trump administration's peace proposal for the ongoing conflict with Russia. And meanwhile, strikes are continuing across that region. Overnight, 9 people died, 30 were injured in a Russian drone attack on a southern Ukrainian city. 5 others were killed in strikes elsewhere. Russia claims it destroyed 17 Ukrainian drones. Both sides blame each other for violating the recent Easter ceasefire. Congressman Mark Pocan faced 3rd District voters in La Crosse last night at Capella Performing Arts Center. The Madison Democrat warned of Republican proposals to cut Medicaid and food assistance. He also emphasized representatives should meet regularly with their constituents.
If you only listen to the people that already voted for you, it becomes this echo chamber. And so you have to then have the tough conversations.
Someone's got to fight for them, and if these certain members are unwilling to listen to constituents, then I'm going to make them uncomfortable until they do.
The town hall also included a call with Senator Bernie Sanders. Organizers say they extended an invitation to Congressman Van Orden. He did not attend. A heads up for Galesville residents this morning. Emergency vehicles and helicopters will be in town today, but they're part of a demonstration. GET High School will host a mock car crash at 12:30. Local first responders and the Mayo helicopter will participate in the educational exercise. Time now is 6:09, still ahead for us. Social Security workers have till Friday to accept another buyout deal. We'll have those details. Tesla sales taking a plummet, and 2 popular e-commerce sites announced price hikes due to tariffs. And President Trump could be backing down on some of those tariffs after a reported economic slowdown. We'll have the fate of the economy coming up this morning. And for now, sending you to break with something to put the good in the morning, maybe the wow in your morning. Take a look at that. In Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano putting on a colorful show yesterday. High lava fountains erupted, shooting to heights of more than 650 feet. The eruption was part of Kilauea's most recent period of activity, which began on April 16th.
The Friends and Family Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 50% off list prices, plus an extra 15% off already reduced prices. Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. The Friends and Family Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Our best sale of the year.
Get solar and get saving with Olson Solar Energy.
The biggest thing I want to get across to people, whether it's via email or voicemail or text, is we are a local Wisconsin family-owned turnkey solar company.
We have project managers that will walk you through the process, keep you informed along the way, and make sure that the communication is the best that it can be.
All the financial benefits are awesome. And then on top of that, it's green energy. How can you lose?
A home you love, a business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We built it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 715-469-6907. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 715-469-6907. Again, that's 715-469-6907.
The Friends and Family Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Up to 50% off list prices, plus an extra 15% off already reduced prices. Friday, Saturday, Sunday only. The Friends and Family Sale at Slumberland Furniture. Our best sale of the year.
All right, a slight chance of showers getting up to areas up by Eau Claire. That is a very low chance for you. You're also seeing, again, of that hitting the ground especially. You're going to see more of that localized down to the south here with isolated showers and storm activity working through the area as we go right into Prairie du Chien and down to most of the southern portions of Wisconsin. That will continue on going down into Richland as well, possibly picking up more showers as we go through the morning hours and ramping up a little bit from a 30 to 40% chance, possibly a 50% chance as we roll right into the 11 o'clock hour going into the 12 o'clock hour with storm activity, then tapering it down going into the 2 o'clock, possibly the 3 o'clock hour with a slight chance of that happening. Then sunshine prevails. We'll have that for a few hours. Getting into areas by Eau Claire, you see you had a 20% chance of that hitting the ground. Once that rainfall from the south starts to work up northward as well, you may still keep a 20% chance rolling in there with a possibility of some light chances coming in overnight. So the rainfall we were expecting coming into the overnight hours for tonight, well, that doesn't look too promising for all of us. We'll see today 69 to at least about 73 degrees out there. So we're going above seasonal average temperatures with the AM PM rain, as I just showed you here, most of which is along I-90. We'll see as we go right into the afternoon, though. We still have that chance of showers in the afternoon, getting into drier conditions and sunshine for 4 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock. Get into 8 o'clock, you're still seeing some drier skies, but by the time we get to the 10 o'clock hour, we're holding on to a 20 to 30% chance. Eau Claire, on the other hand, Again, we'll have a 20% chance of the noon hour, and then pretty much clearing out the skies to finish out the better part of the evening. That's a look at your forecast. More of this coming up for you in just a moment.
In our consumer news this morning, the International Monetary Fund reporting President Donald Trump's tariffs are slowing down the U.S. and global economies. On the heels of that report, Trump is showing signs he could ease up on some of his positions. Wall Street appears to appreciate that after this month's stock market plunge, but it is still unclear if Trump's change of tone can change the fate of the economy, as Amy Kiley reports.
The president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China.
President Donald Trump is softening two of his most contentious economic positions, but a new report shows it might be too little too late. He says the tariff on many Chinese imports eventually won't be, quote, anywhere near the current level. It's 145% after his repeated hikes.
I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to play hardball with China. I'm going to play hardball with you, President Xi. No. We're going to be very nice.
Trump also appears to be walking back his social media post that says the Federal Reserve Chair's termination can't come fast enough.
I have no intention of firing him. I would like to see him be a little more active in terms of his idea to lower interest rates.
The change of tone follows yesterday's grim report from the International Monetary Fund. It forecasts a global economic slowdown of 0.5% year over year. It predicts an even bigger hit to the U.S. economy. The IMF says it revised its forecast due to Trump's trade announcements on April 2nd. They include a 10% universal tariff, reciprocal duties that are on hold for 90 days, and hikes on Chinese imports.
Everybody is saying that the U.S. economy is in trouble, but the administration continues to say it's just a bit of transient or few transient problems. It's more than that, and the evidence is there.
And the Social Security Administration once again looking to cut some employees. The federal agency offering another round of buyouts to its workers, seeking to release roughly 7,000 staffers in this round. Employees have till Friday to take that offer. Those who leave will leave on May 5th, but they will be paid through September. Earlier this year, nearly 400 Social Security workers accepted the first round of buyouts. And Tesla's revenue and earnings dropped in the first quarter. The company reported its revenue fell 9%, with auto revenue falling 20%. Both drops were bigger than expected. Tesla is less exposed to tariffs than most other automakers, but the company said it would have to revisit its guidance because of current trade disputes. And get your Temu and Shein orders in as fast as you can before the Chinese e-commerce sites raise prices. The companies recently said that they will make price adjustments starting Friday. China is the largest clothing importer to the United States, so these tariffs will most likely raise the costs of most clothing, not just fast fashion. That was a look at your consumer news. We'll send it back over to Art now. He's got a look at our forecast.
All right, and away we go. Let's take it right into how this all shapes up for us going into the highs for the day. You're looking at the possibility of these highs holding on to at least mostly widespread the low to middle 70s. You have some upper 60s in there as well. You can see it by Ladysmith as well as get into walk in here. Holding on to how this all shapes up, well, we have some AM and PM rainfall chances starting down to the south where it's more isolated and more thunderstorm potential there. Up to the north, though, as you get into I-94, you're looking at a light to moderate chance of that kind of moving out, but that moderate rainfall slips out of the state and continues to move out of the area going towards Canada. We'll find ourselves holding on to this rainfall, still holding on to the southern portion of our area right through at least the 11 o'clock hour this morning. Then we see some sunshine breaks popping into the picture, and then eventually more of this rainfall comes back again as the 2 o'clock hour rolls in. We're holding on to light to maybe even heavy rainfall trying to pop into the picture with some isolated shower activity kind of moving through as we go right into the 4 o'clock hour. We could still see potential for showers and maybe a storm or two continuing to drive right down to the area to the 6 o'clock hour. Then we switch this. One model is saying, well, we're getting some storms coming back into the evening hours. And the other storm, what I'm switching down to now, this model is saying, nope, storms are staying down to the south. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go through the next few hours to see what plays out for this if they update, things change. We're getting into Thursday as we hold on to 3 o'clock. We're looking at the potential for more showers popping up from the south, working up northward, going through pretty much coming into the afternoon, into the evening hours. That continues to stretch right across into the overnight, into Friday with moderate rainfall overnight. overnight, by the 5 a.m. hour, most of that rainfall is ticking out of the area to the east, and slowly but surely light rainfall finishes out the morning hours as we go right into the afternoon, where things begin to dry out. By at least, you can see, by 2 o'clock, all that rainfall is out of the area, and we get into dry conditions by the 4 o'clock hour. We're done. Saturday looking pretty dry with at least partly cloudy skies coming in. Sunday goes to mostly cloudy skies with showers possibly coming in as a 30% chance. That continues to lift up as we go into the overnight hours into midnight. Going into Friday with, I could say Monday, with potential for light to moderate rainfall continuing to drive through with shower and storm potential. Tuesday we could see possibly severe weather coming in. I would say Monday night into Tuesday, that's a possibility of that still holding on, where that continues to track out of the area and we're finished it out for the remainder of the day. Rainfall from today all the way to at least Friday night. We're looking at 1.5 inches or less of the rainfall. Up to the north, it's more along the lines of 1/4 inch or less. Then we get into how this all shapes up. There's the rainfall right now. Once again, to get that back in your head, you'll see as we go through it, 71 degrees today with isolated thunderstorm activity. Rainfall potentially with a chance of thunderstorm activity rolling through the area. We'll see Friday with showers coming into the overnight hours, continuing on in storms. Then it's done. Then we get into drier conditions in the afternoon. A break for Saturday as high pressure begins to build back in. Keeps us dry all the way through most of Sunday. By the late afternoon, rainfall comes back again, turns into more rainfall in the overnight as well, going into Monday and Tuesday with the potential for severe weather in the forecast. Back to you.
All right, Art, thank you. Coming up next for us, Duke's nose sniffs out stress, not drugs. How this special canine is helping police heal after a tragedy. We'll have that story.
Coming up next in the Blitz, the Caledonia Warriors softball team looking for their best win of the season, and Onalaska and Holman doing battle in girls soccer action. Keep it right here.
And now taking another live look at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. This is where the body of Pope Francis has been carried in a solemn procession for public viewing. What you're witnessing now is the traditional rite of translation that started early this morning when the Pope's body was carried from his residence at Casa Santa Marta across St. Peter's Square and into the Basilica. This is where tens of thousands of people are expected to pay their respects to the Pope, where he lies in state until Friday. Stay with us. We're back after this.
We would like to thank everyone who voted the Board Store Best of La Crosse, Best in Remodeling, Best in Windows, and several other categories. It is our privilege to serve the community for over 35 years. We owe our success to an amazing team of professionals and a commitment to do things right and do the right thing. If you have home improvement plans, big or small, do call or visit our showroom. Bathrooms, kitchens, windows, doors, sunroom, siding, pergolas, decks, more than you expect for less than you thought. The Board Store Home Improvements, 524 Copeland Avenue, La Crosse.
In 1925, a new furniture store opened its doors in Fountain, Minnesota. The business was called the Fountain Furniture Company. Today, 100 years and 4 generations later, we're Drury's, where you'll find a focus on principles that have given us staying power. Handle quality furniture, maintain a professional staff, and a commitment to customer service. We invite you to stop in and find out for yourself how this big store in a tiny town has lasted. Drury's in Fountain, Minnesota, family owned for 100 years.
A great percentage of what we do at the Pump House Regional Art Center is impacted by tourists. When tourists come to the La Crosse region, it benefits everyone. They seek out many opportunities to experience theater, concerts, outdoor, wildlife, dining. It connects us all.
The Power of Tourism, brought to you by Explore La Crosse.
From the creators of bacon, Applewood smoked ham, ham and Swiss melts, 2 for $7. Arby's, we have the meat.
At Knutson Roofing, we know a cheap roof isn't good, and a good roof isn't cheap. When it comes to protecting your home, don't gamble with the bargain bin. Go with the pros you can trust. Knutson Roofing, over 20 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Choose the best with no regrets. Call 715-ROOFING today and get a $250 Visa gift card with your completed roof.
Welcome to the Blitz. Well, stop me if you've heard this before, but a Caledonia girls sports team is off to a fantastic start this school year. Warriors, number 5 in Class 2A rankings, taking on an unbeaten Chatfield team. After a brief bus malfunction, Gophers eventually arriving to face Caledonia. First up, it's Avery Ogdahl sending a grounder right over second base to drive in Adrian Lang and put the Warriors up 1-0. Then 2 outs with Ogdahl. Now on third, one hopper to short. It's a race to second, but Paisley Lang safe, and the Warriors up 2-0. Now in the bottom of the 6th, Ogdahl's awesome performance continues. She ropes one to the fence, sending 2 more home, making that 3 ribbies on the day. And in the circle, she had 9 Ks. Warriors hand Chatfield their first loss of the year by a final of 4-0. Let's check in on some girls soccer action. Onalaska hosting Holmen. First half, Finley Walters tapping it to Isabella Kromke, who swings a leg at it, and it finds the back of the net to put Anna up 1-0. A little later, it's Sophia Kromke losing her defender, sending in a looping shot, sails in to double the Hilltopper lead. Then Holmen trying to respond on offense. They got the free kick, but Avery Cowley is going to gather it to keep the Vikings scoreless, and Cowley and the Anna defense keep a clean sheet, winning 2-0. Game 2, Bucks Pacers. Again, a poor start for Milwaukee in this one. Tyrese Halliburton with a couple moves, and he finishes with the left to go up 9. Bucks searching for a spark in the second quarter. Bobby Portis was that spark. Cashes out from the left wing, but Milwaukee was down 68-60 at half. It was looking ugly at times in the second half, but late the Deer making it a game. Giannis with a man's rebound down low, out to Portis, who nails it. He had 28 on the night. It's a 5-point game. Not much later, Bobby with it in the corner, out to Damian Lillard. Hand in his face, but it doesn't matter. Knocks it down to cut it to just 2. Then we go back to defense for the Bucks. Just not there all night, needing a stop, and Andrew Nemhart pulls it from 3-point land and hits. Pacers go on to win 123-115 and take a 2-0 series lead as the series shifts to Milwaukee. Game 3 scheduled for Friday at 7 from Pfizer Forum. Another for Blitz. We'll see you back here later tonight.
All the best mattresses are under one roof at PM Sleep Center. Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest Black, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Eye Comfort. Your best night's sleep starts at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 30 years.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $43.50 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
To everyone making time for life's best moments, let us celebrate with you.
In Wisconsin, we love celebrating together.
Big days or any other day.
Thank you so much.
From hot and juicy to ooey gooey
to oh my word.
Oh my word. Serving you a handcrafted meal that makes today
a little bit more special. That's what fills us up inside.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
It's time to say not so fast chronic kidney disease. Because with the progressive disease like CKD, slow is good. And believe me, I know all about slow. That's why I'm here to tell you about Jardiance. It's a little pill proven to slow the progression of CKD and reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis.
Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine, which can be fatal. Stop Jardiance and call your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardiance may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired, and pain, tenderness, swelling, or redness in the genital area. area. Don't use if allergic to Jardians. Stop use if you have a serious allergic reaction. Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower limb loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, ulcers, or infection in your legs or feet.
So go on, say not so fast, CKD. Ask your doctor about Jardians for chronic kidney disease.
All the best mattresses are under one roof at PM Sleep Center. Tempur-Pedic, Beautyrest Black, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta iComfort. Your best night's sleep starts at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 30 years.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
In your morning medical news, the Trump administration is ordering a phase-out of petroleum-based food dyes. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announcing that change as part of his Make America Healthy Again initiative. These synthetic dyes, common in cereals, sports drinks, and snacks, are already banned in Europe and Canada, where natural alternatives are used instead.
For companies that are currently using petroleum-based red dye, try watermelon juice or beet juice. For companies currently combining petroleum-based yellow chemical and red dyes together, try carrot juice.
The FDA is hoping to eliminate synthetic dyes from the food supply by the end of next year. American women, meanwhile, continue to have fewer babies than in previous decades. About 3.6 million babies were born in the U.S. last year, up less than 1% from 2023's record low. The fertility rate has been declining since 2008, with experts pointing to rising childcare costs and concerns about maternal health care as key factors. Half of all Americans are breathing dangerous air. A new Lung Association report found 156 million people live in areas failing all three air quality measures. That is 25 million more than last year. The culprit, microscopic particles from dust and smoke that lodge in your lungs and bloodstream, triggering inflammation and potential long-term damage. We know dogs can sense our emotions, but did you know they can actually smell them too? Kirsten Mitchell introduces us to Duke, a Minnesota canine, helping to sniff out stress.
Don't let this sweet face fool you. Duke's powerful nose is at work. The 2-year-old lab is a critical incident response dog with the Burnsville Police Department, specially trained to detect cortisol, a stress hormone in people.
He will basically walk into a room and he'll sniff everybody who's in the room, and then he will zero in on that person who's the most stressed. He tries to get somebody to sit down and pet him. And eventually he'll lay across their feet.
Duke came from Canines for Freedom and Independence, a Texas nonprofit. Like a narcotics dog, he's trained to sniff out stress using sweat and saliva.
It is so much different than the therapy dogs because these dogs go out in the field. They can go on mental health calls.
Duke responds with Burnsville's behavioral health unit and spends the rest of his time visiting schools or attending community events.
Having him around kind of diminishes that. It breaks down the barriers or be able to work with somebody who is in crisis.
He's helping officers too.
Hopefully we can start to slow down and prevent higher levels of suicide, individuals walking away from the job and resigning.
The question comes up to why do we need it? And the answer is, well, look at them, like it's fun.
And what a sweet face. And the Winona area saw an uptick in whooping cough cases this winter. Early stages of that sickness look like a common cold, but if left untreated, a violent cough can develop, doctors say. Young children are particularly vulnerable to the infection. Officials say cases have diminished as we've entered spring, but it's important to keep an eye out for symptoms.
So what we recommend for anyone is, if they're exposed, call their healthcare provider and get the next steps. And if they do have symptoms, our healthcare provider will definitely give them some antibiotics, and I can often recommend that they stay home until they've completed those course of antibiotics.
Meller says keeping up to date on vaccinations is the best way to prevent the infection. Kids from schools around the area are getting fired up for science. Viterbo University invited students for a night of interactive science experiments. They got to watch things like dry ice, elephant toothpaste, and soda and Mentos geysers.
Little kids and big kids, we invite everyone, the whole community, all ages are welcome. And just, have fun with it. Have fun with different science demonstrations.
The school has hosted Fired Up for Science for 16 years. Local filmmakers marked Earth Day with a film premiere at the Rivoli. Ecosystem Lacrosse, funded by the city's Youth Climate Action Grant, showcases community efforts to protect local habitats. Students also shared their own environmental action steps during the Ecolution 2025 event.
Everybody has certain actions they can take to protect our environment and our local ecosystems. And so being a part of an event like tonight is a great opportunity to learn what actions you can take here in your own community.
Recipients of the second round of microgrants were also announced. You can see that list on our website. More neighborhoods are trying a novel approach to prevent flooding and help the environment. Michael George shows us why rain gardens are growing in popularity.
The town of Woodbridge, New Jersey is known to flood during big storms, but the solution may be a small patch of dirt, rocks, and flowers called a rain garden.
So a rain garden is a shallow landscape depression. It's designed to capture the rainwater and hold it and let it slowly percolate into the ground.
Chris Obrupta is part of a team from Rutgers University that built rain gardens outside Woodbridge's municipal building, local libraries, all over town.
So how does a rain garden like this work?
Okay, so the water's shooting down the parking lot here, goes to the curb, travels along the curb, and hits this structure here and goes right into the garden. The water will fill this up and will slowly percolate into the ground.
This one rain garden can collect 50,000 gallons a year. Multiple rain gardens can do even more. The idea caught the eye of Woodbridge's mayor, John McCormick.
So we looked into it. We thought it was a great idea. We started putting them on properties over town. Now we have 11 and more coming.
They also have an added benefit, helping the environment. The plants and soil in a rain garden clean pollutants from water, so it doesn't seep into local streams and lakes. Obrupta says you can even decorate them with rocks and native plants.
Everybody could be doing this at home. Everybody should be doing this at home. It's a way for people to take personal responsibility and help save the environment.
It's good for other towns to see that a town the size of Woodbridge is doing this. And I think we become an example of what other towns can do.
More communities thinking the best way to tackle their flooding problem is one drop at a time.
Rutgers University and some other city governments offer free information for homeowners to make their own rain gardens. We'll send it over now to meteorologist Art Jarrett. He's got a look at our morning commute.
Okay, as we get into it, folks in Eau Claire, that looks like it's raining up there, but I've just checked. There's no rainfall recorded yet at the airport there at Chippewa Valley Airport. We're also seeing more rainfall trying to get down to the ground here from New Hampton all the way down to over to Prairie du Chien. You're seeing that just crossing the Mississippi River now, so it'll be maybe another 15 to 20 minutes to see if we actually get that rainfall on the ground. We'll hold on to it right now going on Alaska. Dry skies for kids going to school this early morning. 47 degrees out there. Feels like it's 46. We'll take it on over to, say, Eau Claire to see what it looks like over there as well. Skies are up. Flag is kind of waving just a little bit. Light winds right now, fairly calm. We're seeing clouds to be a bit scattered out there right now, holding on to the possibilities of about 47 degrees as you go into areas by La Crosse, going into a chance of a light rainfall. We'll see that also by the afternoon. 72 degrees expected by the 3 o'clock hour, getting into mostly cloudy skies and with a slight chance of that happening. Eau Claire, you have 39 degrees today, getting into the possibility of at least 70 for the afternoon and more sunshine on the way to get out and enjoy that. We'll also see as we get into the forecast, you're looking at the possibility of better conditions going into the planner for today with showers on the way in the afternoon. And of course, Eau Claire, you're going to see maybe lighter chances of shower activity in your forecast.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, how about Wilder's turning 8 months old? He is learning to crawl and recently got his first 2 teeth.
All right, go Wilder. Gordon is turning 88. He loves listening and watching to the Brewers games. You see here, he's got a cheese head.
Nice.
Shaped like that.
Shaped like that, huh? All right. So if you know especially someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website. Coming up, a burning house, a man trapped inside, and the off-duty heroes who saved him. Meet them live in studio next.
Beware of getting mortgage information and mortgage rates online. I get a lot of home buyers that get their mortgage information online or get a pre-approval letter from a computer. I can tell you that talking to someone with over 30 years of experience, that everyone's situation is different, and sticking to a lender that has my experience is important to your financial future.
Everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Get employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs, plus $1,000 spring bonus cash on select vehicles. Only at your local Northland Ford dealers.
I'm Mark Schiller, CEO of Prana Sleep. Our family-owned company has been crafting mattresses for over 20 years and are proud to partner exclusively with Home Furniture. We've created state-of-the-art factories staffed with talented craftspeople, incorporating exquisite materials to create ultra-luxurious mattresses. Let us create one for you. Prana Sleep exclusively at Home Furniture.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
You're ready for home improvement. Bathroom, kitchen, windows, doors, and more. The question is who? Begin here, the Board Store Home Improvements. The most experienced sales team in the area. The most experienced installation team. Plan with designers concerned about meeting your wants and needs. Choose from a selection of superior products. Receive a detailed proposal and a firm price. No pressure, no games. Recently voted Best of La Crosse, locally owned and operated. More than you expect for less than you thought. The Board Store.
All right, well, good morning to you as we go into your forecast. Highs today, we're looking at 69 to about 72 degrees. We have AM rain and storms mostly coming up from along I-90, coming from the south and working northward. We also have a slight chance of that working up into Eau Claire as well, but that's a different story. They've got rainfall that's already up there, but nothing's hitting the ground right now. Clouds are just on the increase gradually. You see the rainfall this morning as we get to the 8 o'clock hour by Prairie du Chien, Boscobel, possibly moving into Richland, and then continues to drag off to the east. But we see more clouds still trying to hold on to the forecast. We go into the 2 o'clock hour in the afternoon with light rainfall coming in, possibly heavy at times, isolated through the area. And by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, we open up the skies. Not much happening up to the north anymore. You see clouds are opening up for you, sunshine to prevail. We'll see this continue all the way into the 6 o'clock hour with more clouds coming back into the evening commute. And then finishing out, we're going to partly to mostly cloudy skies to finish out the day and into the overnight going to Thursday. Thursday morning, you're seeing more clouds come back in the morning, starting in with rainfall coming down to the south and working its way gradually by the 3 o'clock hour, lifting up to the north. That will continue to do so, bringing in more showers as we finish out going into overnight into Friday, most of which is going to be along I-90, not so much happening along I-94. We'll see this continue on, but more rainfall does come in for the morning for Friday, getting into the early morning for the north along I-94. But the bulk of that rainfall, light to moderate rainfall, is just along the southern portion and the central portion of our area. Gushes out of the area all the way over to the lake. We've got some light rainfall finishing out for the day. You can see it all the way from La Crosse up to the north by Ladysmith, and then we're done. We'll hold on to that. You can see some clouds coming back again, but we'll see that just kind of tapering down with more clouds coming in for just to cover up the day. We're holding on for a long range as we get into Saturday. It's a nice looking day. Sunday, we'll have rainfall potentially coming back as we go into the afternoon and evening. There's a 30% chance. And then we see more rainfall coming back for Monday. So Monday, possibly into Tuesday, we could see the severe weather potential in the forecast. You can see here guiding right through Thursday, and then pretty much we're done. A 3-day total of rainfall, we could see maybe up to about 1.5 inches or less. And that's your forecast coming in for the rainfall. We'll guide into how this all plays out out over the next few days. And we're looking at warmer conditions for today, then taking you back down to the 60s, but still above seasonal averages. Drier conditions hold up for us as we go right into Saturday. We're looking at 65 degrees with an increase in temperatures, believe it or not, even though light rainfall is on the way for Sunday. So a good looking day for Sunday. Get out and enjoy that. Then rainfall comes in around the 3 o'clock hour, possibly. Then we'll see as we go into Sunday into Monday. That's when the potential for severe weather may come in for Monday going into Tuesday, and that will start to dry out as we go right into Wednesday. That's a look at your forecast. Be safe.
Thank you, Art. New this morning, a Buffalo County man is alive today thanks to 2 off-duty first responders who spotted his house on fire last month. Kevin and Leah Kubis rescued Michael Helgeson from his burning home in Glencoe Township. Those heroes are joining us live this morning to share their story with us. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being here. Lovely to see you. So tell us a little bit, Kevin and Leah, you were just driving by. So what made you realize this was more than just a bonfire? Walk us through what happened.
Leah actually is the one who noticed, so.
Noticed some burning?
We crested a hill and I said to him, wow, that's a really big bonfire.
Yeah.
And his yard is quite a distance away from the road we were driving on, and we both just got really uneasy with like the size of the fire and like how far away it was, but it was late at night, so we weren't real sure.
Right.
And so we drove up there and we noticed that it wasn't a bonfire at all, that the pergola on the corner of the house was on fire. So we pulled into the yard and I called 911 and we started banging on windows and doors, and all of the doors were locked and the kitchen light was on and there was a dog inside barking. And we were able to make entry into the garage, and then he opened the door to the house and the dog met us there. He picked up the dog, handed that to me, and basically told me to get out.
Okay,
and,
so you and the dog then got
and
out.
then Kevin, well, he's a
You have
trained
fire experience.
Yes, so
Okay.
so he went and cleared the house.
So please don't mind me saying, first of all, thank you for your service. That's what you all do
Amazing,
is
yes.
wonderful, and thank you for that. What was the impetus? I mean, just to put yourself down aside and run into a home and help people out.
Run into a burning home,
Yeah,
literally, yeah.
Basically, I kind of feel that a lot comes down to morals. Like you don't think, you act, you help mankind, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When there's flames coming out of the roof already at that point, and there was some lights on in the house, and haze of smoke was already settling down near the floor. It was now or it's going to be too late.
Right, and you both have first responder experience, so I'm sure that kind of guided you.
We just rolled on scene and you flipped over into protocols and what you're trained to do.
Right, and then when you got there, Michael was asleep, right? So you had to wake him up?
Yeah, so I ended up clearing the living room to typical fire cleared living room, dining room, kitchen, came across the first room where he was very startled when I woke him up to get him out of the house.
As you can imagine, for sure. And then you were able to get him out. And yet, what was going through your mind when you found him asleep? You realized, okay, there is a human in here. What now?
Instantly went to get him out. Is there anybody else in the house? Is there any children? And that basically just make sure no one else is there.
Okay, and he was unharmed, and the dog was unharmed as well, and both of you guys unharmed too, right? So amazing work there. And you did receive the life-saving award from Sheriff Osmond for your work. You brought these awards with you today. Tell us a little bit about what that recognition means to you guys.
It's a symbol of the importance of being there for someone in their hour of need. We just got there, and you're trained to do in that kind of a situation what you're supposed to do, and so that's literally what we did, and this is just a reminder of that.
Yeah. Micah, did you guys have any gear at all or anything?
No.
No.
Wow.
That's why I wouldn't let her go in.
Right, okay, so you got the dog out, you got your wife out, and then able to call in the authorities, and yeah, amazing. How does it feel, knowing that you've saved lives? I'm sure as first responders, it is kind of more everyday, to you than the regular person, but knowing you have saved somebody's life and a dog, how are you feeling these days?
It's always a great feeling. I mean, sadly, that's kind of the business. You don't always have good wins.
Right.
So when you're able to save somebody and have that win, it is very touching. It is.
Real quick, I know we're going to close this off, but was this a calling for you? I mean,
to serve my community has always been a deep desire I've had. So I would say yes, I've always had that calling to help.
Right on.
All right, and yeah, living it out, it's working out. Thank you so much for your service, and we know that Michael appreciates it too, and thank you for being here to share your story with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. We're back right after this.
I'm Gail Kane. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, our revealing conversation with Tina Knowles. She's sharing her story in a new memoir. Plus, we have a very powerful note to self from a Holocaust survivor. That's coming right up on CBS Mornings.
Right now, during Home Furniture's spring sale, the more you buy, the more you save. Get 5, 10, and even 15% off sale prices throughout the store. Plus, pay no interest for up to 5 years on brand name mattresses during the spring sale, going on now at Home Furniture.
For over 40 years, Blood Cross Glass and Overhead Door has been the go-to company for anything glass and door. We offer a large stock inventory of CEHI garage doors to help you find the perfect fit. As a locally owned business, we take pride in our work and always get the job done. From commercial glass and glazing to residential glass and CHI garage doors, we have the experience and expertise to help you. Call or visit our website today.
We see you out there, building a life you love, knowing that when inspiration strikes, nothing should get in your way. At Blaine's, we're here to help with everything you need to make it happen at prices that make it possible. Like all men's, women's, and kids' Skechers. Buy one, get one half price. $10 off women's Levi's Red Tab shorts, $39.99. And new colors of men's work and sport polo shirts, just $15.99. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, in original.
The Silverado Trail Boss. And a little work. And a little play. And a truck that says no to nothing. And Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on this Silverado. Or get $4,350 total value. Plus, current Chevy owners can get $4,000 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
Here at Schneider Heating, we have a huge emphasis on culture, getting along, working together. We follow through on our promises, and we get the job done.
We will do what we need to do to ensure that you are safe, comfortable, and happy.
We have a lot of veteran installers who really care, and even more put their mind at ease by installing Carrier equipment.
We're not just putting in a furnace. You know, you're hiring the whole company. You're hiring our service department, our install department, just a ton of experience. We're very helpful.
It's the spring patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts. Right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Get 5, 10, and even 15% off sale prices on porch and patio. Plus, get a free collapsible wagon for all your outdoor activities. The spring patio sale at Home Seasonal Concepts.
A cold case almost 40 years old. No suspects, no arrests. Her 1-year-old child, the only witness. Thursday at 6, a look back at the murder of Linda Wegner. The case and the clues to the murder in the house on the hill.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm with current conditions and updated video forecasts from the local team that warns you first. The News 8 Now First Warn Weather app, giving you more than what you'd expect. Get it now. No, seriously, like, you know, right now.
Call Hupy and Abraham. They really do mean business.
Emily Brown on News 8 Now.
Time for your morning news now. A Vernon County Jail kitchen supervisor faces sexual assault charges after alleged encounters with an inmate. Investigators say 37-year-old Amanda Bjornstad sexually assaulted a male inmate in the kitchen cooler last month. Surveillance video shows the two entering the cooler multiple times. The victim claims Bjornstad threatened to remove his work privileges unless he complied. Bjornstad was released on a $10,000 signature bond. She'll appear in court next month. Minnesota is taking the Trump administration to court over transgender student rights. Attorney General Keith Ellison filed a federal lawsuit aiming to stop what he calls bullying vulnerable children. The suit challenges President Trump's February executive order banning transgender athletes from teams matching their gender identity. At the state capitol yesterday, Ellison said he won't wait for federal officials to sue Minnesota first.
They're wrong about the law, both federal and state law. 2, we will not let a small group of vulnerable children who are only trying to be healthy and to live their lives be demonized.
Republican House Speaker Lisa DeMuth called the lawsuit a waste of taxpayer money and criticized Ellison for risking federal funding rather than, quote, keeping boys out of girls' sports, end quote. Congressman Mark Pocan faced 3rd District voters in La Crosse last night. The Madison Democrat warned of Republican proposals to cut Medicaid and food assistance, while emphasizing representatives should regularly meet with their constituents.
If you only listen to the people that already voted for you, it becomes this echo chamber. And so you have to then have the tough conversations.
Someone's got to fight for them, and if these certain members are unwilling to listen to constituents, then I'm going to make them uncomfortable until they do.
The town hall also included a call with Senator Bernie Sanders. Organizers say they invited Congressman Van Orden. He did not show up. And mourners are filling St. Peter's Square for a second day, honoring the memory of Pope Francis, who died Monday. Early this morning, the Pope's body was transported to St. Peter's Basilica, where he will lie in state until Friday. Wisconsin's own Cardinal Raymond Burke is reportedly in the running to become the next pope. Born in Richland Center, Burke led the Diocese of La Crosse for nearly a decade and founded the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe on La Crosse's south side. As one of the few cardinals not appointed by Pope Francis, Burke stands out among the 100-plus cardinals eligible for the papacy.
Cardinal Burke was portrayed as sort of the antagonist of Pope Francis. So is it possible? Look, anyone can be anyone with enough votes can be named the Pope. I wouldn't think so.
If appointed, Cardinal Burke would be the first American pope. And a heads up for Galesville residents, emergency vehicles and helicopters will be in your area today, but it's all part of a demonstration. GET High School is hosting a mock car crash at 12:30. Local first responders and the Mayo helicopter will participate in the educational exercise.
All right, well, to start this morning, we're looking at light rainfall up by Eau Claire. It's really not hitting the ground, though. Clouds are on the increase. You get down to light to moderate rainfall over Prairie du Chien now. They're finally getting rainfall over the last, hour or so, and now it's still not really accumulating any rainfall just yet. Here we go. We're looking at temperatures around 71 degrees today. A few hours of sunshine, so get out and enjoy that. Then we get rainfall potentially coming back into the late afternoon hours. We'll also find ourselves getting into some more sunshine for Saturday as well. Get out and enjoy that too.
All right, thank you, Art. Well, North Liberty University crowning its newest, most beautiful pug. The Iowa-based college chose an 80-pound bulldog named Milo as their cutest boy. Although being awarded an awesome-looking crown and cape, Milo gets an even better treat, getting to be the official mascot for the 115th Drake Relays held this week. 30 bulldogs took part in this rough competition.
Right on.
Beautiful bulldog contest. I do like his crown. Looking cute. It matches your tie. We got to get you one of those.
Oh, I should get one for him.
There you go. Have it all. Thank you for waking up with us this morning. We will see you back here at noon.